What's up, everyone? So today's video is actually going to be about looking for signs of females being gravid and what a prelay shed is, what an ovulation shed is, and kind of give you an idea of that. Obviously, it's going to be hard to know just if you've never done it before, but watching videos and going on the internet and stuff like that is usually the best help. When I started, that was usually what I was doing for about 6 months. Once I started pairing my snakes, obviously I did that research before I started pairing my snakes, but once I started pairing my snakes, I was doing that every day just so I can get used to it. Even though I was looking up the same information over and over and over and over again, I just wanted to make sure that I knew 100% what I was looking for, to know if they were ovulating, to know if they were going to be laying soon or anything like that. So I actually have 3 females, I have 4 females that I've already had their ovulation shed, and I have 2 females that are on their prelay shed, and I have 1 female, I don't know if you can see these question marks, that I have no idea what's happening. So usually they have an ovulation shed about 3 or 4 months after you start pairing them. So this girl here, she was paired August 17th, and she had her ovulation shed in November 16th, and then she had a prelay shed on January 22nd. So she should be laying sometime around mid-February, so like the 15th maybe to the 20-something, some around there is when she should be laying. And then I have this girl here that she was paired September 30th, and I have no idea when she ovulated. I have no idea if she had a prelay shed, and it's not because I wasn't looking at her. So usually when right before they're about to have their ovulation shed, right before they're about to ovulate, they stop eating. This girl never stopped eating. She actually stopped eating probably like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, all right, she's about to ovulate. And I start looking at her, and she looks like she is already ovulated. She looks like she is probably going to be laying soon. I am not sure at all what she is doing. She has a prominent spine. That's another sign about ovulation. She's actually stopped eating. And like I said, she was eating all the time, never missed a meal, and she stopped eating about 2 weeks ago. And she's also been side laying every day since. So she hasn't started nesting yet. She hasn't started moving substrate out of the way or anything like that yet. But she has definitely started ovulating, and I have no idea when the shed was, mainly because she was still eating, so I didn't count that shed. I usually do notate sheds, even if they're not breeding or anything like that, mainly so I know when their sheds were. But for some reason, for this girl, I stopped caring about sheds because she was eating regularly. So I was just worried about making sure I caught the ovulation shed, and I somehow missed it. So that's on me. Obviously, that's on me. But then I have another girl here that she actually has already started ovulating. She had her ovulation shed on the 6th of January. And then I have this girl here that had her ovulation shed on the 18th of January. And some of these are also labeled as next shed because I know they will be having their ovulation shed on the next one. So I try to label these as well as possible. So somehow I missed this girl, and this X means she's not eating. So obviously I'm the only one that does anything with the snakes, but I still need to know because so I don't have a lot of snakes. I only have about there's 38 snakes here on this rack, and then there's another 8 snakes down there. So that puts me at 46 snakes. I don't know. I should have counted that before I started this video, I guess. But that put me at 46 snakes. And I mean, I don't know how I lost that. I don't know how I missed that she had an ovulation shed, or maybe even a prelay shed. I'm not even sure. But this girl has definitely had her prelay shed. She is definitely nesting. She is definitely getting ready to lay because she is side laying all the time. All of the substrate is up on a pile, and she's laying straight on the tub. And she's just curled up all the time. I usually look in there in the mornings and at night before I go back and do everything I got to do with my household. But this girl hasn't been moving a lot. And another thing that you'll notice, right before they have their prelay shed, right before they start nesting, they'll get really irritable. They'll not want you opening the tub. They'll be moving around all over the place. And this is how they get ready to lay. So I've noticed that this girl, almost every night when I open the tub, she is moving around. So she is definitely getting ready to either have a prelay shed, or maybe she already had the prelay shed. So I have these question marks here mainly because I don't know where she's at. I don't know if she's at ovulation shed or I don't know if she's prelay shed. So if she sheds again, I'm going to be 100% certain that that's a prelay shed. If she doesn't shed again, then I just have to keep looking for eggs. So that's why I keep checking. I do know her last shed was sometime at the end of December, beginning of January, so around New Year's time, Christmas time, but I'm not exactly sure exactly what date. So that's really on me, like I said. But I also have some. I'm sure you can see this, but I also put months on here, and this is usually around the months they will lay. So this girl here says December to February, and she should lay in February based off her pre-lay shed. This girl says April to June. This girl says February to April. This girl says January to March. So she should be laying. I thought I had more time because usually it's towards the last month. Usually it's towards that second month on there. Usually it's about 4 to 6 months after you started pairing them that are actually, usually it's 4 to 6 months from the time you start pairing them when they start actually going through that ovulation cycle and laying and all that. So this girl's on track. I'm not sure yet about this girl because she's eating. She's just putting on weight, and April is still a couple months away. And this girl right here is on track because she actually stopped eating this week. So I know her next shed, I actually have to put on X on there. I will try to feed one more time after they refuse the meal just to see if they're continuously refusing meals or if it was just a one-off. So I do put next shed on here. This one did stop eating. She actually has refused meals for about 2 weeks. So next shed on her. This girl has not stopped eating, but based off the date, it should be the next shed. And obviously I try to put dates on every girl that has started pairing, even the ones that have only locked up once. And I've made a video about this male up here, this gravel leopard lesser, who only locks once with 2 females. So once with this female and once with this female. And that's all he did. So hopefully I'll get some eggs from him, but I'm not expecting it, mainly because they only locked up once. Maybe he's just one and done. Maybe that's all it takes for him. So maybe I'll get eggs from her. She actually just shed today, so I'll try to feed her in a couple days to see if she's eating or if that was an ovulation shed or not. She eats pretty well. This girl over here is off and on, so I never know if she's ovulating or anything. She just doesn't like to eat all the time. And then there's this girl here. She has started pairing as of December 17th. She started pairing with the pastel lavender albino het pied, and she has a pied het lavender albino. So you can see I say April to June here. So again, about 4 to 6 months after. So I've noticed that she's actually stopped. When I started pairing her, she stopped eating, and that lasted about 3 weeks, and then she started eating again, and then she stopped eating again. So I'm not sure what she's doing. She might be developing follicles, and she's just getting to that point where she's going to start ovulating. So I'm not sure yet, because obviously 4 months after December is April. So she's either early or she's tricking me. So now I'm going to show you the female that is getting ready to lay within the next couple weeks, because it's already been at least 1 week since she had her ovulation shed. So maybe in a couple weeks, usually it's about 3 to 4 weeks after they have their pre-lay shed, but sometimes it could be less, sometimes it could be more. That's just an average, so really you just got to go with what you experience. So let me go show you her, and I'm not going to mess with her too much. I just want to show you what she looks like. And then that's it. There might be another female that's actually ovulated. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So this is a super enchi, and I actually paired her to my banana possible enchi calico, hoping to prove him out for enchi or not. Now, before I got her, they told me she was paired already, and she reabsorbed her follicles. So hopefully, if she does go, she doesn't lay eggs from that male that he was paired to before. Instead, she lays eggs from my male. Now, you can see that she is kind of doing a side laying type of ordeal. So over in the back section over there, right in that area, you can see that the side is showing. She's not doing a whole lot of side laying, but she is doing enough where I would consider that side laying, because she's actually a really big girl, and she has stopped eating here recently. So hopefully we get eggs. Hopefully they're from the banana enchi calico. So let's see what she's doing. So you can see she has started nesting. She is doing her thing. She was actually all curled up. Her head was hidden and everything. I guess she came out to see me. She is doing also side laying. You can kind of see it back there in that area of her body, that her sides are a little bit exposed. So again, she had a prelay shed. She's also, you can see her spine all curved up and all weird too. So that's another sign right there. And then she hasn't eaten for like a month or two now. Yeah, it's been about 2 months since she's eating. But yeah, that's another way you can, she's definitely about to lay. I would say within 2-3 weeks, she would be laying her eggs. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got something out of it. But if you don't mind, subscribe, like, and share. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I put out in the future. Peace.